Hi guys, it's SkintBoot here, and today what I'm going to be bringing you guys is a No Man's Sky video. And in today's video, as you can clearly tell from the title, I am once again going to be talking about No Man's Sky VR. However, this time, unlike the previous video, I'm actually going to be looking at the positives of No Man's Sky VR. Now, I made this video in wake of the absolute fucking shitstorm that went on with the recent upload. People hating, people saying that my opinion's wrong and blah blah blah. Whatever it happens, it's a very touchy subject and I'm not saying that people are wrong for doing that. However, because I did make a video all about the negatives of No Man's Sky VR and a video where I basically slated it for being pointless at this point in time, I do want to make it clear that I do think it's a good thing. And in fact, I think there are a load of really positive things that will come out of No Man's Sky VR, hence why I am currently making this video. I mean, it goes without saying that my opinion has not changed. What I said in that video is still what I think, but I do of course want to look at the positives, because not everything is bad and negative, and it's healthy to look at both sides of the argument. So with all of that said and done, please do sit back and relax. Let's get started. Okay, so the first good reason why No Man's Sky VR is actually a pretty interesting thing, and something which I myself am looking forward to and a lot of other people are looking forward to, is the fact that it is just No Man's Sky but in VR. And I know this sounds really fucking stupid, but hear me out. No Man's Sky as a game, even playing it on a TV or a monitor or wherever the fuck you want to play it, is an amazing experience. It's a game like no other. I guess people always lean towards Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen as the competitors, but in terms of aesthetic and relaxation, there is just nothing that tops that weird ambience that No Man's Sky has. And No Man's Sky is a game which is just built for VR. It is completely 100% made for virtual reality. That is largely due to the fact that No Man's Sky, for one, has some incredible views and scenery and ambience, but also the fact that it's a game you can really get lost into. Grinding aside and, you know, doing all the main missions and looking for S-classes and things like that, the game is just very time consuming. You know, just walking around the planet and looking at whatever you want, doing whatever you want to do is something that even on a flat screen is very impressive and time consuming and a massive enjoyment. However, this in VR is just a dream. I remember back in the day when people used to talk about, you know, Skyrim VR before Skyrim VR actually came out, and people were saying that, you know, when this would come out, they would have absolutely zero life. You know, they would live in Skyrim VR, and I think that this is the same thing for No Man's Sky VR. To put it into short terms and to stop repeating myself, I'm basically saying No Man's Sky is built for virtual reality, and it makes sense for the game to receive a VR port, unlike some other games which are ported to VR that just don't fit. No Man's Sky is a perfect little piece of what VR can be. And talking about the whole VR catalogue and things like that, one other thing which I do want to bring up is that No Man's Sky VR should hopefully fix this problem where virtual reality games are really just gimmicks or tech demos. They aren't games. There are very few VR games that are actually replayable or have a decent story or actually have a game to them. The only VR game I constantly play is Gorn and occasionally Beat Saber, but for the most part VR games are really just tech demos. They're, you know, cool the first few times you play it, but after a while they get quite boring because there just isn't a game in the game. I'm hoping that No Man's Sky will actually break this trend of games in virtual reality just being kind of lazy and half-assed and more of a tech demo than a actual finished product. As a result of this, I really do hope that No Man's Sky VR sets a high standard for ports to come. Next point is that No Man's Sky VR is a major selling point for virtual reality headsets. This is something which I picked up a load from feedback on the previous video. People were saying that No Man's Sky VR is the only reason why they're going to buy a PlayStation VR headset, or they're going to buy an Oculus Rift or an HTC Vive or something like that. I had so many goddamn comments about this, and this is simply fantastic. The fact that you would spend, you know, £400 if you're going with an Oculus, or say £200 on a PSVR headset just to play one single game, then clearly something is right. Clearly Hello Games have hit the nail on the head right there, and that is just incredible to know that people will dedicate so much of their money and their time just to play No Man's Sky. It kind of warms my heart. But in terms of a business standpoint as well, No Man's Sky VR just makes a load of sense. It allows for way more sales of the game than if they were to just release Beyond without a VR included update. Basically, they are releasing a new game without releasing a new game, if that makes sense. And in terms of income and media coverage and all of that, it's absolutely fantastic for the business. And finally, something which I feel like I kind of didn't touch on in a previous video was the fact that a lot of people are wanting No Man's Sky VR, and perhaps I slightly forgot that No Man's Sky VR was a massive community request. Not only since, you know, the days of No Man's Sky releasing did people always talk about a VR port, but also how virtual reality was featured in that old school list of features which we would like to see. It was very evident that people are extremely interested in getting their hands on a VR port of No Man's Sky, and the thing is, just seeing this finally implemented, a feature which the community has been extremely vocal about and shown interest in basically since 2016, again, just warms my heart. In terms of how Hello Games act and how they're perceived, it's great that they would add an addition that the community are very big on. It's like anything. It's like third person or multiplayer or what have you. It shows that they're listening, and quite frankly, I don't think there is anything wrong with that whatsoever. So guys, this is really all I have to say for this video without repeating myself and seeming like I'm trying to get to 10 minutes, because trust me, I'm not, even though I'm poor as shit. I do just want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then please do feel free to leave a like on the video, and if you guys could also subscribe to MZK, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. And as always, I will see you guys on my next video. This is SkintBoot, signing out.